Body is G Mr. Drew here to welcome you to another episode of the Andrew Glowczewski Experience. This is going to be episode 212, I believe. I think we did 211 already. I'll have to double check that. I can't believe it, but maybe we did. Either way. So I'm guessing this one's 212. Going to continue these vehicle props, concept studies, things like that. Trying to get the right type of aerial vehicle as far as controls, consoles, seating, shape, and function, all that stuff. And yeah, man. So we're gonna do that. This today's date is July 29th. No, it's got to be July 30th now, right? Oh shit. And yeah, we're going to. So yeah, if you're catching this on YouTube, you're catching an old video. If you want to see me live, I'm on Twitch, or you can watch these things on my Patreon. You will have to be a patron to watch most of my videos. It starts off at $1 for regular support, but starting at $3, you get a character commission, portrait, drawing, sketch, anything like that. Anything that basically all the stuff that I do, characters, props, and vehicles, and all that other stuff, environments. You know, starting at $3 a month, I'll do all that stuff for you, man. But other than that, I'm G Mr. Drew on all social media. Follow, like, and subscribe. Any and all support is appreciated. And other than that, man, let's just get into it. Yesterday, I wanted to stream, of course. I always want to stream, but I went to go apply to a job, right? I saw a job and I was like, oh, cool, let me apply to it. And then I went to go apply, and then it like took up an hour of my time. And then when I went to go like hit submit, it was like, oh, sorry, you've been logged out, bye. And then I had to redo the entire application process from the start. And it was like, okay, that just chewed up all my time, and I don't have time to redo this application. So I just did a little bit of drawing and all this other stuff, and I was upset too. So I didn't even want to stream because it was like I didn't want to like stream upset like that. I'm still feeling a little salty about it, but I just drew a little bit yesterday. You can catch this square right here, and yeah, man, I'm continuing to study like fighter planes, fighter jets, and all that other stuff. That's kind of the main focus here. Especially I adjust them a little bit with the ideas and concepts that I want to apply without getting too much into them. I'll just draw them in myself and keep them secret. And so, yeah, with everything that I'm working on, let's just move forward. I'm going to draw another one, and, we'll see how much time I put into it. This might be another short one. Who knows? Uh, like an hour or something, maybe 90 minutes. I got Teching 101 talking with some guy I'm not familiar with, Sensei, and they're just talking about Reverie ideas. They've been talking for like 20 minutes. There's like 10 minutes left in the video, not even. But they're talking about like One Piece Reverie stuff, and then I got more One Piece of the latest chapter stuff going to be playing, and then some TVA, will they be hunting down Gamora stuff later on after that. So yeah, man, let's just get into this. Let me adjust the
Oh,
camera.
I'm slowly reading. I'm not the person that like binge reads one thing. I just slowly read like 10 things.
I'm the same way. I'll binge read
There
very
we go.
rarely. I binge read all of Chainsaw Man one night. That's a very rare thing for me to do.
Chainsaw Man is some gas though. It was a quick read. It was a quick read too.
Oh yeah, no, it went by that fast. I went like 70 chapters in like 2-3 hours. It was fine. Yeah. But anyway, that was a tangent. Okay. I knew it was gonna happen at some point. But go read Doctor Stone and go read Chainsaw Man, audience. That's the point of that little tangent. Last question I have, and this is something like I think we've even actually addressed this before when we were talking about like the future of One Piece after Wano. I would love for this to happen. I do not know if Oda would go that direction. Will the Straw Hats go to Marijois at some point?
I would love for them to go to Mary Joie for a couple reasons. The main reason though is I want this to hopefully, please Oda, lead into a situation where Luffy meets his father, and I would love to get some sort of backstory for Dragon because I really think that Dragon was involved, in my opinion, with the Marines at some point, and I think it makes so much sense to me because of Garp. Now, Garp, and he has this like want and desire for his grandchildren, for Ace and for Luffy to be Marines, and I always wonder, like, I always just assumed this because he, has a love for his job.
Yeah.
But I was like, but I think maybe, what if there's a situation where Dragon, a lot of people think Dragon could have been involved in the Marines before. It's a theory that's been flying around forever, but.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would assume, Garp being his dad, at least he would start off as maybe a Marine.
Yeah, and maybe he failed with Dragon, and that's why he doesn't want to fail with Luffy and Ace. Maybe he wants to fulfill what he couldn't do with his son, with his grandchildren. So I would love, like, if there was a situation where the marriage law stuff could like coincide with the revolutionaries, peak with Emu and things like that. But we get some information, interactions with Dragon and Luffy at some point.
That could be, yeah, like Luffy and Dragon interacting could be the catalyst for Dragon's story. Now, I don't know if Luffy would be interested enough to actually ask Dragon, like, hey, you're my dad. What happened to my mom? Why did you abandon me? I don't think Luffy really cares
No,
about that
I
kind
don't
of
think
stuff.
he cares.
But it could be the catalyst.
God damn, why can I not draw this line, man?
Because it doesn't have to be a situation
I'm drawing rough
where,
today.
it's Dragon telling Luffy.
Let me take a breath and calm down.
Luffy doesn't care about that, like you said. But it could just be a situation where, like, Dragon maybe is reminiscing. Maybe him seeing Luffy kind of rejuvenates those memories of why he left and Luffy's mother, and it's a flashback through like just the mind of Dragon recollecting memories or something like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I just, I want the Strides to interact with the Gorosei and Eam. I want Robin
Yeah.
to meet Eam specifically. That interaction would be beautiful.
Oh.
The only way I can see them going there is if after Wano they find out about what happened to Sabo. Luffy's like, no, not again. I am not losing another brother. Do you guys mind if we put our adventure on hold for a bit to go to Marie's One, make sure he's okay? The Straw Hats, of course, would all agree. They have Jinbei now.
Holy shit. I didn't think about that. Sabo is in trouble. Luffy may want to go save him, and he may be more determined to save him this time. Or more determined, than ever to try to save one of his brothers just because of what happened with Ace. Holy shit. And this one would be a quest or an adventure with his crew this time, where when he went to Marine Ford and did that whole war, it was without his crew. It was during the 2 years that they just trained and did other stuff, but they were all separated. This would be one where he went to go save a brother, and it'd be with his crew. Holy shit, I didn't think about that. But this is why I love listening to this stuff, man.
Well, but he has the best chance of being there before because he's a fishman, first of all, so he might have been part of like the delegation there, and also he was a warlord, so he might actually know how to sneak in or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see them logically going there, unless there's another reason that Oda creates along the way that makes sense. But
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's like kind of a now or never situation. In my opinion, man, because this Sabo situation is the perfect like conduit for this to happen. I agree with you. Like Sabo being captured, Luffy, like you said, like no way am I letting this happen to Sabo after what happened in front of me to Ace. Like, there's no way.
It would be the perfect flip because remember when Luffy first found out Ace was in danger, it was at Thriller Bark with the Vibra card, and I think even Sanji asked him like, "Hey, Luffy, if you want to go check on Ace, we'll help you. It's fine." And Luffy's first response was like, don't worry about it. He's my brother. He'll be fine. And he eventually decided to go help, but he didn't have his crew at that point. So now it's the complete opposite. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
now he has his crew.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, people like get upset about bringing this kind of scenario up because they're like, no, this is just Marineford 2.0, but it's not. It's completely different. It's completely.
I think it's spin it differently than that.
It's completely different to me because, like you said, the last time it was Luffy being apprehensive and then finally going and then having his crew. This time it's Luffy, a stronger crew being ahead of the game and saying, no, last time I made that mistake, this time I'm not, and then them going to marriage wise, it's different. It's completely
It
different
would
than
be
before.
very different, and also it would be a big drive because the other Straw Hats, when they found out Ace died, their first reaction was like, "We got to get back to Luffy. We got to help him." And then they saw the 3D2Y message, and so they stayed behind the train. But that was like probably something that was driving them for 2 years. We got to get back to Luffy. We got to make sure he's okay after everything that happened in Marineford, and that's what really drove them to train as much as they did. So this would be a perfect opportunity for everybody. I don't think it would be like Marineford 2.0 or anything. I think it would be
Yeah, exactly.
just different.
I was definitely going to execute it differently. And it would be awesome to see because I know this like it had to be hard for them to go 2 years training and like you said, this had that had to have driven them because it's like that's their captain, someone that they love and care for. And for 2 years they had to go like wondering like, man, what is happening? Is Luffy okay? So it had to be tough for them.
In a lot of respects, Luffy helped save like Nami and everything, and so they might try to like repay the favor, and this is might be their opportunity. Like, don't worry, Luffy, we'll help you out with whatever you need. But anyway, that's all the questions I have. I think we had a pretty good discussion here. This is really getting
Yeah, it was
light
awesome.
for what's going to happen next after Wano. If we get like a break between Act 3 and 4, we touch upon some of this stuff. But thank you so much for joining me today, Sensei.
Of course, man. I'm very happy I got to be a part of the video. I'm happy to be here on the channel. We've done a bunch of collabs, like you said, on my channel. Guys, make sure you go check
Go
that
check all
out.
that out. We
I
have,
appreciate it.
yeah, and I did a lot of collabs this week, as I was explaining to you earlier, just because of like the No One Piece. Because yeah, there's some breaks coming up. There is a chapter this week, and I think actually the week after this, there's going to be a chapter and then another break. So
Yes,
we're
sir.
not out of that yet. There's still going to be some breaks. But thanks for everybody for watching. Check out Sensei's channel down below. All the links are in the description. See you, everybody. Signing out.
See ya.
Disney's Jungle Cruise, rated PG-13.
Here from Anime Outboard, I'm back at it again to discuss the latest crazy developments in the One Piece story. If you do enjoy seeing these One Piece reviews and want to keep them coming, the best thing you can do is channel the Pirate King within and smash that like button with no mercy. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. If you are new to the Space Fam, let me know and say hi in the comments. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, feel free to check out my growing One Piece playlist. That includes videos on all the Yonko, Warlords, and most recently on Monkey D. Dragon and his revolutionary commanders. Link to that playlist is in the description. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. So this chapter starts off strong immediately. It rejoins the fight between Kaido and Yamato. Yamato transformed into that cool form last chapter, which led to people speculating about what devil fruit it was. Out of the theories I heard, my favorite was the Kirin, which is supposed to be even more powerful than the mythical Ho-Oh, and all of us Pokemon fans should know that that is a huge deal. I still think that would have been the most hype, but perhaps it would have been a bit too OP and special given the context. Nevertheless, I'm not disappointed with the reveal in this chapter because the power is still a mythical zone, which even Kaido singles out as being incredibly valuable. Yamato's devil fruit is the Makami dog fruit, so pretty much a wolf deity. On the Japanese wiki, it also says about the Makami that having eaten many people, an old wolf living in Makami no Hara of Asuka area in Yamato province was deified for its ferocity and worshipped as a guardian deity. You may have recognized that the province shares the name of our character, so there definitely were clues that this was the approach Oda would take. Some other notable features of this mythical creature is that it knew the nature of each human being, protecting the good and punishing the wicked, something that it shares in common with our description of the Kirin. Furthermore, Makami was regarded as having a strong power to protect people against evil, particularly against hardships as caused by fire and robbery. So again, it's fitting because despite being related to Kaido, Yamato is siding with the good and trying to protect from the wicked Kaido, who has burned and robbed their land in the past. For an Odin fan who wants to protect Wano doing right now protecting Wano from Kaido? Obviously, Yamato refuses to follow Kaido's orders and continues to fight. Kaido says that Orochi may have been a tyrant, but he transformed the country into a giant weapons factory. Now Yamato just has to take place as ruler. So interestingly, Kaido, even after he says he made a mistake, still keeps trying to give Yamato opportunities to join him. You can say a lot of things about Kaido, but you clearly can't say he's merciless when it comes to his child. Then Yamato promises to help the samurai and to protect this country from Kaido, notably like a guardian deity. There will be no more chains and the country will be open just as Oden wanted. That is Yamato's goal at least. Yamato unleashes a move called Namuji Kyogai, pretty much Yamato's version of Blast Breath. It clashes with Kaido's Blast Breath and the two attacks cancel each other out. Props to Yamato for preoccupying Kaido for so long. Kaido probably isn't going all out and trying to finish it as soon as possible because he values the Makame fruit and perhaps his child too. But it makes no difference to us. Yamato is succeeding in keeping Kaido busy and giving Luffy the time he needs to recover and return. So props to Yamato, the mission is being accomplished. Now we jump to Robin and Brooke. Robin seems to be under an illusion where she sees her mom and Professor Clover and Saul. She begins to cry and it seems like she may actually fall for the trap, but of course she doesn't. She didn't even need Brooke to warn her. She says she knows it's fake, but she still considers it a shame. And just like that, bam, giant Robin arms pop out of the ground and destroy Maria's three underlings. It's revealed that those illusions are the work of Black Maria specifically, and then she shows up to chase them down. Within all this hustle and bustle, we get a touching moment where Brooke says he wasn't affected by the illusions because for 50 years he dreamt of his friends and it always hurt when he imagined their faces. Robin smiles and says they are two peas in a pod. A nice moment of connection for them as they bond over the bittersweet memories of lost ones. You know it's a touching moment when Brooke talks without bringing up panties for so long. Black Maria's weird weapon, a pug smile, comes back into the mix. It's so bizarre and hilarious as we're told that human-faced dog keeps starting fires. Black Maria now is hanging upside down like the most attractive spider I've ever seen and uses her weapon to set the whole floor on fire. While she's doing this, she also comments that maybe they are not deluded by her illusions, but they are by dreams since they think they can win against Kaido. I like the line in this context, and it's another reminder of how crazy the feat that the Straw Hats are trying to accomplish is, but it also inadvertently reminds us that there is a difference between illusions and dreams. I love to see how creative Robin gets with her powers, and here she creates her own spider net using many arms, and holding Brooke, she hangs from the ceiling away from the burning ground. It truly is a great fight scene, and with the size difference, there's a cool David versus Goliath aesthetic going on. Can't wait to see how Robin will win this one. Robin tries to talk some sense into Maria so she doesn't burn everyone, including her own people, down, but Maria simply says if she's worried, Robin should surrender. The idea of being willing to sacrifice your own people is nothing new coming from a villain, but Maria delivers it well. Brooke comes to the rescue and uses Cold Soul to freeze the human-faced dog, so hopefully no more fires from it. Maria still uses the weapon though to get Robin to let go of the ceiling while trying to get to Robin by bringing up what should be her insecurities. Good fights are often mental as well as physical, and here Maria is trying to weaken Robin's resolve. She mentions that Robin must know that deep down her friend will always sell her out. She even mentions how Sanji called her right to Maria. There's a cool moment that you can gloss over if you're just skimming through, but as Robin is falling onto the still burning ground below, Brooke uses Ice Burn so she can safely land. It's funny, even while Maria is saying how she can't count her friends, Brooke is ignoring her and protecting/helping Robin. Then Maria even plays the You're a Burden to Your Crew card, another one of Robin's historical insecurities. She mentions how big shots all over the world are after her, but in reality, after this war, big shots will probably be looking for every Straw Hat. As Maria speaks, Robin smiles. Maria continues, saying that all of Onigashima heard Sanji, the laughingstock, and what's more, he has the crew's second highest bounty. So in her eyes, that means the crew itself is of low quality when the second highest bounty is a laughingstock who would sell out his friends in an instant. Of course, none of the Straw Hats agree with Maria's analysis. Brooke laughs it off, and like Sanji, leads Black Maria to Robin, with Robin thanking him and saying she appreciates it. Brooke turns to deal with the underlings, trusting that Robin can handle it. Maria has the complete wrong idea, even asking if she struck a nerve. But Robin says not at all. Sanji is a kind soul. He was doing her a favor, and Black Maria will never understand how much it means to Robin for Sanji to rely on her. It's a beautiful moment, and she even adds poetically that Sanji's one of the wings that'll allow the pirate king to soar. Robin then creates a giant version of herself with many arms, one that will probably make up for the size difference between the two. It's sure to be a great technique, and so far, Giant Robin is not wearing anything, so let's hope that keeps up. Can't wait to see the conclusion of this fight. I'm really getting into it so far. But for now, we move on to Luffy himself. He wants more meat, of course, but he already ate everything. Once again, Lawsmen bring up how they found Luffy because they heard something. Momo is here and he explains how Shinobu's kite allowed them to escape from Kaido. As Momo is crying over what happened to Kinemon and Kiku, Luffy does a tough love approach and tells him this isn't the time since Momo is still in charge. He can cry when it's over. Now he has to be a leader. Luffy is still determined after everything to blow Kaido away, to use his own words. Luffy says he won't lose this time, and you gotta respect that will to fight time after time. We see Caribou looking in and thinking how much he wants Luffy to pull off the victory, or he'll never get to lead this country. I enjoy seeing him cheer Luffy on by thinking, come on, get it together. Then a still laying Luffy points to Kaido's ruined castle and tells Momo that he's going to take Luffy up there to finish this. Momo will need to transform into a dragon and fly. We're told this is the final trip back to Onigashima, meaning one way or another, this war is ending, and that is very hype to hear. Again, I think we all expected Momo to be able to fly from and to the Flying Island. I even thought he'd say Shinobu like that rather than Shinobu using her kite to save him. So no surprise here, I do very much look forward to their epic arrival back to the island. And yeah, the manga is telling us this is the final time, the final battle between Luffy and Kaido, and I don't know what's making Luffy so confident right now, but I can't wait to find out. As always, let me know what you thought of this chapter and what you expect to see happening next. It was full of great moments in my view, and my MVP goes to Robin for this one. I think she'll continue to be impressive, and we haven't seen the climax of her fight, but she was good enough in this one to get my MVP for the chapter. Let me know who yours was. Luffy was epic as usual, saying he's going to finish this even when he's on the ground beat up, and Yamato was just epic too with the mythical form. And speaking of Yamato, I desperately want this mythical zone user to join the crew. How cool would it be to have a mythical zone? Just saying. The problem is, I fear that since the fruit is the guardian deity of Wano, it wouldn't be very fitting for Yamato based on her devil fruit to lead Wano. But we shall see. All around, we're clearly approaching the end of Wano, and things are getting more and more interesting. If you did enjoy this review and want to keep them coming, the best thing you can do is channel the Pirate King within and smash that like button with no mercy. If you haven't made this the video, you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. If you're new to the Space Fan, let me know and say hi in the comments. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, feel free to check out my growing One Piece playlist that includes videos on all the Yamato, Warlords, and most recently on Monkey D. Dragon and his revolutionary commanders. Link to the playlist is in the description, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Play, stay, dine, and do it all with an all-inclusive vacation package at Legoland Florida Resort.
Stars, is Gamora a variant fugitive being hunted by the TVA after Endgame? According to Loki's timeline logic, who else ain't where they're supposed to be in this cinematic multiverse? What about that Florkin? The goose is loose! This is Broke Theory, the show where we pitch the wildest theories for the nerdy titles that we love. I'm Eric Voss. Going broke with me today is the man who puts the ass in the man in Mastertainment. MT, don't deny that you're an ass man. I see the way you look.
Oh man, I am a major ass man, dude. I live as an ass man. I'm just ass and ghetto. No, it's true. But no, major ass man here. Gotta love a good little theory.
Also with us, writer, actor, good friend of the show, Marina. Mass Effect Adventum podcast, Matt Acevedo.
Hey, and I am also known as America's Ass Man.
It's the ass effect, bro.
Completing that trinity of Assman jokes, Matt, you start off with the Golden Trophy. Guys, we gotta ask, why is Gamora? Because Loki director Kate Herron confirmed that Steve Rogers did create a branch timeline with Peggy Carter at the end of Avengers Endgame, and thus would have probably been a burning target. I got a whole other video coming out tomorrow that's going to explain how that makes sense, and if it does, and the cool implications we could draw from that. But it does confirm a suspicion many of you have asked us about since Loki episode 1, other possible variants in the MCU, specifically Gamora. Remember, in Avengers Endgame, her 2014 self traveled with the whole Thanos crew to the present day, and all been dusted away, but not her. She switched sides and was last seen walking away while everyone else took a knee to pay respect to Tony Stark. That was in a deleted scene, but I consider it canon, because why not? That should have happened, right? So, was Drax asking the right question from the beginning? Why is Gamora? Is the TVA actually hunting her? And beyond Gamora, what other variants do you think could still be loose in the MCU?
I think the TV is definitely coming more because she's definitely a loose factor. Like she's not supposed to be in what 2023 now. Like she's from 2014 and she's in 2023. And so I think that with People Remains being now gone and now not a factor anymore, that the TVA could actually go after this Gamora who is not supposed to be there because the person who was running the show is no longer there. So I think Gamora could be a really big target for the TVA.
Yeah, I think the question that a lot of us still have after Loki is what exactly are worthy next events that break people into these branch timelines? Is it their mere existence out of whatever their proper syncing of a timeline? Or is it the fact that their timeline will inevitably lead to a Kang? I'm inclined to believe the latter, but can we make any arguments of how Gamora's existence in the modern day might lead to a future scientist with Daniel Richards discovering time travel?
I mean, just the fact that she has access to technology that we don't at that time, and that she no longer has any loyalty to the characters that she used to, right? Because this person is a different person. She did not give a shit. She's like threw up two fingers and bounced, right? Canon, right?
I have to wonder if, the Endgame writers and directors say that, Thanos' team must have reverse engineered all these Pym particles from this one vial that they got, and that's how they were able to transport an army of thousands of them to the present.
Right.
But, so if they did that, couldn't we argue that maybe that's where Gamora has some Pym particle tech on her, and now that is in the present, whatever science wizardry that the Black Order constructed, that could have led to that could have been what's it called, the Skynet claw of the T-800 that was there, that Cyberdyne Systems used to create Skynet in T2.
I mean, we just see her leaving the scene in Endgame, the final battle. We don't see her leaving the planet yet, right? So we could assume that she did go and look through the wreckage for those Pym particles. I think Gamora is I think you're right on the money. I think she is a key variant that is not supposed to be here and is causing a plague to the rest of the timeline. But also, there's I think this opens up so many possibilities just to so many different characters that can come back. For example, I think in episode 1 of Loki, we saw what looked like Peggy Carter, right? And I think that because of Steve Rogers going back, I think Peggy Carter might, be coming back into the MCU in some way as a variant. And then on the fan version of me, what I really want is I want Killmonger to come back because I think Michael B. Jordan's so good. There was a timeline where say he does get the throne. He gets the upbringing that he gets, and he does become the Black Panther. I think that'd be really cool to see.
Matt, you bring up a really interesting proposition there, because this is why I'm so excited to watch What If, right? Because we have 2 episodes that touch on this. We have Killmonger saving Tony Stark, and we got T'Challa becoming Star-Lord, both of which present likelihoods that Killmonger could go on a different path. And it just makes me wonder, are there going to be any of these loose ends that are later brought back into live action? Because I think the idea that this show still opens to the Marvel Studios title card. Jeffrey Wright, as a watcher, is considered MCU canon, even if each of these stories are what if Elseworld stories. There's enough possibility that these loose ends might tie in, and we could have a variant no longer.
I want that Killmonger from the What If
so open. It's such blue sky right now. It's like, what the heck are they gonna do? So I'm just like, as a fan, I am just thrilled at the possibilities, and I get really excited. I love comics, and it's great. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
It's the best. Like, being at the beginning of a new saga and like basically a new phase, sort of.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's everything that.
I want to ask you guys about this idea of a possible Rocket variant because we saw in concept art that someone at Marvel's like, hey, let's get Rocket in TVA. So even if that didn't happen in Loki, that is a character that like some artist, someone at Marvel wants to explore that possibility. It might just be because it is kind of an ADR character that they don't have to put the actor on set. It makes it a bit easier to
Yeah.
get around that. But characters like Groot, like Rocket, do we think that there's some other kind of variants of those that are bubbling around the MCU?
I kind of think that it'd be really cool to see classic versions of Rocket and like maybe like the 2008 comic book look where he looks a little more like big old mustachy kind of Rocket, or even but it might even be a variant because I know like Scotty Young's comics, he did like there was like a clone. I might be wrong exactly on this, but I think there was like a clone Rocket that and they had like a really great conflict. Like I definitely think we're gonna see more Rockets though, for sure. It's the opportunity too good to not do.
Mine's very stupid. There has to be one where it's just one second of a cut to, and it's just Bradley Cooper. Like, that's the version of it where it's like, oh, that's okay.
Like, I
But
love
that's it.
Bradley Cooper, but he has the cat CGI. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
version of Rapid.
It's his persona.
We don't like that version. Ugh.
Like, ugh. I think that there are, in terms of variants of Rocket and Groot, there probably are a ton of them that the TVA has proved throughout the years, just because of how crucial Groot especially is to the overall story
Yeah.
that game it seems to want to tell with this saber timeline move. Because Groot, he took down Ego, he sort of basically took down Thanos in a way because his arm was part of the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there. And like, adult Groot in Guardians 1 helped save Xandar in the battle. So Groot is a very huge, like, figure, I feel, in the universe.
Yeah.
So Groot at the very least, and also Rocket, because Rocket was also instrumental in all those moments as well. So yeah, I can definitely see them veering off slightly, like taking different choices. Like, oh, what if Rocket decided to use a different kind of bomb to destroy Ego or something like that?
I mean, right now with what it's almost kind of a overwhelming luxury of possibilities that we now have because like they can just animate anything and anybody into it and say like, oh, well, it's not going to come back. But I'm specifically curious to see if we'll see like live action approaches to this, and I'm curious about Natasha Romanoff, right? Like you finally get this Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
There was this weird moment in Avengers Endgame where Natasha didn't know that her father's name was Ivan.
Right.
But like she knew that her mother was searching for her, but like just didn't know. You would think that she would have been able to track him down. It's just weird that like Red Skull knew about her father, but she didn't. Just
Right.
these loose ends that the Black Widow movie did not address made me think that there still might be a future of this character. Is it possible that Scarlett Johansson comes back in the MCU as a variant of Natasha Romanoff?
I mean, I know
Not after suing the company.
I know, like, a lot of people were sort of upset that Black Widow did certain things and didn't do other things, but I really enjoyed it. I super enjoyed it, actually. Like, the whole time I was just like, yeah! It's so fun. It was. It's just like, it's
Were you
super
in
fun.
theaters or were you at home? Just like,
I was like, oh, I was home, I have Disney Plus, so I was just like streaming by myself. But yeah, and also like, I want to see what else she's capable of. She was basically the most super version of her human self in that, and I know there's other versions. I want to see other variants where maybe she gets powers, or maybe we see her have different skills. Like I want to see her more, and also like except for Hawkeye, because he's just gross, let's be honest. But like she's the least capable again because everybody has powers, but like Hawkeye is just gonna stay at the bottom of the list. Eric, I know. Eric has vision at the bottom of the list always.
cast, like those are going to be like the rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, those are going to be variants or something.
Yeah, I mean, if they bring in Ultimate Peter Parker's, I believe variant will probably be the word they use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of giving us the lexicon.
Yeah.
This is such a luxury. Like, you just wallow in all the possibilities.
Swimming in room. And then we also have Aaron Taylor Johnson, of course, coming up as
Yeah, that's a good argument. Is Ralph Boner a variant?
Quicksilver. No, he is. I didn't see it. Variant of Quicksilver. I think that's what they were setting up in WandaVision.
Because we don't know that guy's real name.
Right.
Ralph Boner was his name in the Hex. The Hex was still
Right.
up at that point.
Right.
So all of them had different names outside of the Hex. Now, wouldn't it be weird if his name was Pietro Max Bomb? Just saying. There's questions.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think there's all kinds of possibilities there specifically. I mean, we know Captain Rogers, right? We're going to explore variants of him if Chris Evans comes back in the MCU. I just think the question will be which of these will be just limited to what if, which of these will be hypotheticals that stay in our head canon, and which we'll actually see.
Yeah.
And they have such a ripe opportunity here to bring in people who are variants of each other, or say that someone is a variant of someone else. Like, I would love to see the Fantastic Four established as like a historical group of superheroes in the 60s of the MCU who maybe died off or disappeared, and the ones we get in the MCU are variants from another
Ooh,
timeline.
cool.
Fun.
Because otherwise, you don't really get to explore their history. I don't want the Fantastic Four to have an origin story in the modern day. I want them to have existed because they are a fun, retro, goofy group of people
Yeah.
who, you know, turn invisible, stretch around, light on fire. You know? So I would love to see them in the
Yeah, and then the
Certain
rocks. Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments below which character you think might be a variant or should be turned into a variant, and what are the variants of characters that we might see in the MCU. But for this conversation, Matt, I gotta give you the point for your film on it.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice. Crushing it.
He's getting them Robux. He's getting them.
Thanks, guys.
All over it.
I'm excited to catch these in for the rewards at the end of the
Oh,
fiscal
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Well, we got some more questions that we answers to about the TVA. But first, this is the last
All right.
grab yourself some Loki-inspired work.
Let's keep pushing it.
Several sizes.
I really like this idea.
Grab one of them.
The difference between the plane that I worked on yesterday, this is the Phantom, is the wings are underneath, and I was trying to play with that, and I didn't really push it too much. And this may be like two different variations or something, maybe like wings that are underneath, and then this one has wings that come from up top, that fold downward, and I like this kind of almost bat-like fold that happens, and it gives this hexagon shape right here. I really like it. So yeah, I think this is, I just keep drawing these things to try to find like a golden nugget, and I feel like this is one of them. Everything else is just like me trying to find things. I do like it though. I like the slopes and the little triangular shape that happen from the wings sloping down from up top. And this is a what is it? A Harrier, I believe. Yeah.
These things, like if I have dry, normal, or sensitive skin, and I said, that's none of your goddamn business. But they said, no, we're trying to help you. And I said, oh, thank you. I'm sorry I got so defensive about it. Sure, I have dry skin. It gives me all kinds of conditions and grumpiness, and I respond that way to quizzes sometimes. They said, we understand, we take care of you. They also asked whether I get confidence under my
But yeah, we're only at like 40 minutes in, so let's keep going, man.
Well, it was super easy, and it made me think
Where are we at? Can I start in this corner? No. So I'll draw something here instead then. There we go.
No, in a good way, in a good way. I'm not talking about that Los Angeles superficiality where we care way too much about how we look. I'm talking about holistic approaches, like putting on pants when you take the dog out to pee. It's not just a crime, it is a moral crime to let yourself
There we go.
like that. So, I guess my
Kind
ideal
of give me a focal point.
exfoliating. Thanks for asking. I could have just cut right to the chase there, but I went free shipping on your order and returns. And with their subscription options, Hawthorne makes you never run out of your essentials. Like this complicated. Obviously, Hawthorne keeps it simple with a short study back quiz that matches you with your perfect grooming kit. Looking your best has never been easier. Take Hawthorne's quiz today and get started on your personalized self-care routine by going to hawthorne.co and using promo code ROGUE to get 10% off your first purchase. That's Hawthorne, HAWTHORNE.co. No M! Promo code ROGUE. Hawthorne.co, promo code ROGUE. All right.
God damn it.
Also, thanks to Upstart for sponsoring this episode. Look, if you're carrying a credit balance month after month, it can feel like you're in a never-ending cycle of debt. Like when Lady Sif kept kneeing Loki in the groin in a time loop. That's how your bank account feels. Upstart can help you make that final payment so you can get ahead. Upstart is a fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment. And those 500,000 people, they're the best people in the world. Upstart knows
Never committed a crime.
none of them. Upstart knows you're more than just your credit score. It is expanding access to affordable credit. Unlike other lenders, Upstart considers your income and current employment to find you a smarter rate for your loan because you're more than just a credit score. But with a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 and $50,000. You can receive funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. So I know you need your money fast. One business day, guys. Bam, bam, thank you, man. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/rogue. That's upstart.com/rogue. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit income and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/rogue. And thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring us. We all like privacy. We all need privacy. It's not spelled out in the Constitution, but it is a fundamental right. But we all deserve some privacy while we're surfing the internet. ISPs like Comcast and Verizon, they know every single website.
What are we listening to?
Talk about it, they judge you.
Come on, man. Get that out of here.
ExpressVPN is rated #1 by CNET Wired.
More?
It works on your phones, on your laptop.
More commercials. Holy shit.
I just love how
Oh my god. I love how all these things always turn into commercial stuff.
by visiting ExpressVPN.
People gotta make their money, I guess.
Soon I'm
See, that's why I have a Patreon.
Angry.
I don't need to be angry. I'm sorry. Insanity.
I have a Patreon just in case one day, maybe, you know, I'm successful enough at this where I can get like, where I can live off of it. Like I hit my Patreon goal, and then I would never have to worry about like ads and stuff like that. Or making people who watch my stuff have to worry about ads and stuff like that. So that way I wouldn't have to like rattle on for 10 minutes about stuff that, you know, pretty much don't care about.
Freedom is joy.
It's great.
We're all afraid of joy.
We were all
It's anti-polar at the controls, not who is black.
Yeah.
But they sound like each other because they started doing impressions of each other and they forgot how to turn off that switch. You're all some bits down there. Well, the TBA guys, big old grain of salt here.
Right.
But we here at New Rockstars have our sources too. We like to pretend like we're scoopers. We just have friends who think that they're more in access of the studios than they really are, and they pass things on to us. And I say, no one's gonna believe us. We've made it our whole message not to spread this stupid bullshit that's unconfirmed. And then we thought, well, we need a second topic for roasting.
Well, we
I
need
don't.
context.
Yeah, another one said I want to use for blue screen videos because, you know, and then I thought no one sticks around for the second half of Road Theory anyway, so we can say whatever we want back here. But I want us to kind of crazily speculate on where do you think the TVA will appear next in the MCU that's not the DCU?
You know how there is a court system in the TVA, right? So if you
Yes.
commit a crime, you get tried. It's a kangaroo court. You know, there's not much. You're gonna get sentenced. It's not very fair. So, however, now that He Who Remains is no longer in the picture, maybe the TVA's court system is gonna change, and they're actually gonna have to function like a real court. So, who is a superhero and also a lawyer?
Detective Stickler.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Come on. Of course.
Well, and also Daredevil, but
Oh yeah.
Okay.
right now forget about him. But so yeah, so what if you know, in the process of like maybe people are going out and being rude, maybe they're being dragged back to the TVA, and so superheroes could be coming to She-Hulk and going like, I not only need someone who understands super stuff, but I need a lawyer, like a straight up lawyer for time court to represent me, and I think it would be super funny if, and also just like interesting, and also just she is a good lawyer, like she does good work. Yeah. So she can be green or gray or whatever, and she's still being a lawyer. And I think it would just be really great, even if it's just like a one-off, like little funny clip. But you could really put it in almost any show, because you could put anybody who's being dragged into the TVA, she could show up to be helping them, or in her series, someone could just pop in and be like, I'm getting taken away by the TVA, you know that? And then
I love that idea of turning the MCU onto a legal axis. That's fascinating. The TVA does not abide by any English common law principles. Loki did not have a defense attorney
Right.
representing him. He didn't waive his right to a defense attorney. They don't have freaking habeas corpus. Well, I guess they have habeas corpus if they put him on trial, you know, there. They didn't do it without him, with him in absentia. But, like, imagine a Scopes monkey trial debate, like the Clarence Darrow versus William Jennings Bryan, who, like, talked about evolution. What if they had a relationship between the TVA statutory
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
So.
nobody can say how the court should run now, so you know, why not? Like maybe they just argue their way into getting defendants now, and they're like, well, there's no timekeepers to tell them we can't. Okay, yeah, I guess we'll do it.
No, there's actually precedent for this in the comics, because in the issue that introduces the red cannon to the comics, it's She-Hulk on doing time court stuff. So like, yeah, you can actually do that. So like, that's a really good little theory.
I like that idea. That's a good idea. All right, but where else? Where else could TVA time doors suddenly open up when we didn't expect it to?
I think the next phase of Marvel Cinematic Universe is the sacred timeline, royally screwing everything up. And because I got to put my producer hat on, because not everyone has seen Loki, and Loki is a key part of the next phase of Marvel, right? And because not everyone has seen it, you still have to present it in a digestible way for normal audiences. So I think they got to go through with the Thanos approach, and we're going to get post-credit scenes. We're going to be some sort of TVA thing. It's going to be a little yummy. We're going to build it up. We're going to gain, get the people who don't watch hardcore fans like us on board, so that they can be like, oh, this is just like that Thanos kind of thing, and build our way up to that. But I think it's going to be the next series is not mess with the timeline. Almost every post-credit scene is going to deal with TVA, maybe heavily more with Ant-Man 3, since we're dealing directly with Kang, apparently. So I think it's going to be building for that, and Kang's going to have a heavier presence with the TVA. But up
So
to
you
then,
think we got Shang-Chi coming up in a month? Do you think we're gonna have a post-credit scene with the TVA there?
I do. I do. I mean, that's the way. Get them on board. You know, people will get caught up with us. You know.
I disagree. I do think more people have watched Loki than most of these other Marvel shows. But you are right. Not everyone's a Disney Plus subscriber. I know because I have dumbasses who are like, how are you spoiling Black Widow? It's like, it's been out for 2 weeks. Clearly you don't consider it worth your time or money. So you don't have the right to complain to me about spoilers about it. You asshole. So writer for AV Club at some point who listened to the studio. I have a theory that spoilers are a form of oppression. It is gatekeepers in comics who believe that there is one way to fan, and on the opening hours they say, "Oh, you want to watch us talk about this right away? Shut up! Don't talk about it until I have seen it." That is a form of gatekeeping. So no, spoil everything, and it just don't go on Twitter if you're worried about spoilers.
Also, like this is just like my philosophy for life, and it's pretty great. You know, the journey is the destination. You know, it's cheesy as hell, but it's true. Man.
What the hell does that mean, Matt? That doesn't apply to what we're talking about. You're up in here with your chicken soup for the soul bullshit. You're trying to tie it together. What are you doing?
Fortune cookies, man.
A little yums.
Ooh, spoilers, whatever, man. How do we get there? That's important.
But I love how me and MC immediately supported Matt, and then Eric was like, keep it. You're like, yeah, 99 for sure. And Eric was like, absolutely not. Take that shit off the car.
No, Matt, you are right though. I think we're gonna start seeing some. It's kind of like how we had scroll post-credit scenes, like the scroll post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it with the TVAs too. I think.
Oh yeah, I think that especially again with Shang-Chi, I think we might actually see the TVA pop up during the course of Wenwu's super long life, because Wenwu is a very long person I feel. It seems through the flashbacks. So if he's been around for a while, they might be like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, well, you're not supposed to be doing this, and he just fights them off with the 10 rings and they just run away. Because like,
Ow! Because that's what you're doing here.
Jeez, this weapon with those 10 rings, man, they look really nice. Jesus
Yeah.
but no, either that or the Eternals, because the Eternals years.
Yeah.
So they can just pop up and be like, oh, let's just do this way, Eternals, instead of that way. It's like, oh, okay, we got you. It's like they work on behalf of the politics. So maybe the Eternals know that the TVA exists. I don't know.
Yeah, the more I think about it, like there's starting to be these little mental links that I'm forming. Like not only is He Remains or some gang is obsessed with ancient wonders of the world. Like we had two of them in the Void. We're gonna get a third one in Eternals, the Hanging Gardens, Babylon, and the fact that there's this Sphinx in the Void, and like Kang, one of his forms is Pharaoh Rama's hut, and I think we visited ancient Egypt in the Eternals. That the Eternals have all this random crap. They have like, don't they have not the Ark of the Covenant, they have the Holy Grail. They have like random stuff in their treasure box that feels like something Kang would like. Just there's a lot of these weird parallels that makes me think, oh, maybe we'll see a Time Door show up in Eternals.
I think it's the most likely out of most projects. Well, there's Quantumania, but like either Quantumania or Eternals, I feel is the biggest one.
Well, I think Quantumania is a guarantee that we're going to have Kang and TVA elements. The only thing that like leads me to look away maybe from Eternals in terms of a possible TVA connection is just the tone of it. Like it might break the tonal reality that Chloe Zhao seems to be going for in Eternals, which I guess is like historical.
It's all earthy.
I don't know what that tone is. Looks cool.
Yeah.
Pretty landscapes.
I think that's a really good point, because it would sort of break up what Chloe Zhao's doing, but like maybe a post-credit scene when the movie's over.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, that way no one cares.
yeah.
That's true.
Like, the part is over. Now it's time for more Marvel setup.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Time Doors to show up everywhere. We're having Skrulls show up, and I want Skrulls and Time Doors. I want Skrulls coming in and out of Time Doors showing everywhere. Let's mix peanut butter with chocolate there. Let's go nuts.
I want the last battle with Kang to be portals or with Time Doors, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want this, like, like the Scooby-Doo, trope where, like, they just keep running across all the different doors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For Time Doors.
We should have already had that. The fact that we didn't do
Yeah.
that, we should be in the script writing right now. But let's see. Marina, I'm going to give you a point for
She-Hulk?
She-Hulk, chief
Yes.
prosecutor
Yes.
in the GTA trial. And T, I'm going to give you a point for bringing up Eternals as a likely villain.
Yeah, that was
I like
nice.
that idea.
Very good.
Great.
And then I'm going to give you half a golden bug, Matt, because I like your idea. I wanted you to already have locked and loaded a post-credit scene ready to go. And you really threw me with that chicken soup bullshit. Disneyland Ride universe. So previous entries, of course, include Pirates of the Caribbean, The Haunted Mansion, and The Country Bears. So pitch me the next likely blockbuster film based on any ride at Disney Park.
Thunder Mountain, baby. It is the next big. They explore the pirate genre. They're going to capitalize on the Western genre. It's going to be about some sort of treasure that's located at this magical mountain that no one's found yet called Thunder Mountain, and it's going to follow some. Oh my gosh, what's his name in Mandalorian, who always plays cowboy? He's gonna be the main. He's gonna be the main character, and he's gonna have a really fun crew of characters that are like probably Josh Gad in there as comic relief, you know, and throw Emily Blunt in there. Throw her in there too, you know. She's like a smart like she's the archaeologist or whatever, and like it's kind of like a Western version of Indiana Jones, but Thunder Mountain as like the main thing. Yeah.
I love
I
that.
love the energy, everything about that.
Opening thing there.
Thunder Mountain's so good.
I'm gonna choose the only Disney ride that I know. It's a Small World after all. And just having about
Yeah, what's it about? Tell me on the concept.
Maybe it's like an Ant-Man, but a Disney Ant-Man. I don't know. And you're on a
Wait,
river.
what?
I don't know how that ride is.
You go around the world on a river, and there's little dolls from different countries who sing at you.
Mine's a horror. It's a horror movie.
Okay.
And it's about the main character is this woman and she's so hungry and she's like, what am I gonna do? I'm so hungry. And then she's like, I'm gonna go to this hot dog cart. And she buys this hot dog and she takes a bite and she's like, wait, I don't know what's in it. Goom, goom, goom. And then it's just Disneyland hot dog cart. You don't know what's in it. That's it.
And Josh Gad's in it.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm sorry, guys, you all got it wrong. The correct answer is the Hall of the Presidents.
Imagine a president team up movie where all the presidents work together.
It's gonna win. It's gonna be like Lincoln. It's gonna look like a guy that wins Oscars, but then people will be like, not this year.
No.
I like that that's based off the ride, not just not off the president.
Yeah, it's all right.
It is. That's just, no one else is in the room. The lead
Yeah.
just gets going. It's all great. He's talking about Pythagoras now and how all things being equal to each other are all equal to God.
No.
And then Adam Driver's like, I'm in this movie?
Yeah.
And he's like shirtless and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that goes without saying. Is that right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I would hope so. That's how we celebrate.
Well, that's the end.
God.
Road Theory this week. Matt, you're our winner. Good job. Great
It was a
theory.
team effort. We did it, guys.
No, that's it. It was all you. You did it. You alone fixed it. Good job, Matt.
Go buy
Everyone
it.
else was trash. Only
Yeah.
you were good.
Yeah, we suck.
Thanks,
You
man.
killed it, buddy. But of course, MC Marina, you were also here.
Yeah.
We love it.
This is true. We were here.
We were so good.
I'm kidding. You guys heard it great. I love talking nerdy with all of you guys. It's been a lovely episode. One of my favorites. So be sure to follow all three of these lovely people. Marina Mastros, Matt Acevedo, MT. Find them on social media. Tweet them nice things. Show them some love. You can support this channel by checking out all that merch I talked about earlier at NewYorkStarsMerch.com. Follow me at EA Boss. Follow New Rockstars. Forgive me on Twitter. I seem grouchier on Twitter than I am here. It's just because, here's the secret, folks, everyone's grouchier on Twitter than they are in real life or anywhere
Yep.
else.
It's
It's not the
true.
person's fault, it's Twitter's fault. Burn down the sex social media companies. Not you two. Not you two. But burn the rest of them down.
Yeah.
Anyway, subscribe on YouTube. See you next time, fuckers.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. So with that, I think I'm done here, man. Um, kind of wanted to get another one in. So it is what it is, man. Just drawing a whole bunch of different angles of this Harrier with the wings down. I like that whole aesthetic. All this vehicle design and aerodynamics and everything is so funky, man. The angles are always so weird. You know what I mean? Everything changes. It's so different. Well, it's probably not too different from anatomy. I mean, once you understand it and all that stuff. But I mean, as far as it being similar to human anatomy, man, it is so crazy. I posted on my Throwback Thursday yesterday, and I just go through it chronologically, and it just so happened to line up that the throwbacks that I was putting up were a lot of aquatic animal studies. And it's so funny because I did a lot of, there was a lot of like stingray and manta ray and whatever sort of sea rays, kind of animal study drawings that I did, back when I was 18, long time ago. And I was looking at the shapes of them, and they have like that diamond shape, much like this. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is really reminiscent of the planes that I want to draw." Like, I really like the shapes of these, how they're pretty similar and things. And if I say manta ray and then I show you this, it's like, oh, okay, I could see kind of what he's talking about, like as far as those shapes go. So that's what I like. So this is a Phantom, this is a Harrier, and I was drawing these, and I'm kind of altering them just a bit, just for my own sake. And but what I would like to do is probably try to take these ideas, because these are some badass looking jets, and they're very similar to one another. Just one has like high wings, one has low wings, and transitioning them to jets like these. And even something like this it looks so fucking crazy because it has like these little wings, big wings, and then these upper wings, and then these lower. It has like 8 different wings. It's like a spider aircraft. You know what I mean? So that may be what I end up doing and moving forward. Just because I like them, and it aligns with like the T-Rex designs that I'm trying to shoot for. You can see I'm trying to play with the bended wing concept here. This is more like a chicken wing kind of bend, which wasn't working out for me. But a bend like this, it's a little more like a bat or something. It's like, oh, like it started to make a little bit more sense to me. But yeah, so it goes with like the T-Rex tri-wheel tricycle type of shapes, and getting these consoles and everything. So I'm just fleshing all these things out. I mean, honestly, I hate to show all this stuff because it's like I'm insecure about it, as far as like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. But this is how I've ever learned everything, is you start off with not knowing a clue, and then you just, or at least me, being an artist and a visual learner and things like that, it's by creating the visuals that I'll learn what it is that I want to achieve. Like I really like the bulkiness of this sketch, like how it just looks like, it's like a muscular pit bull. You know what I mean? It's like a really muscly cat, and then I like the slopes on this. So when I revisit working on a Phantom, maybe I'll try to adjust it a bit and even play with the thing. So we'll see how many more times I'll end up working on these airplane things. How many pages I actually dedicate to it, because I could spend a whole lot. What's up, Cheska? Yeah, it has been a while. I have to leave. You have an appointment. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up this stream anyways, so. But yeah, you're always welcome to lurk and check back. I was just talking about yesterday working on this one, today on this one, and then just got done drawing these. But yeah, I'm starting to get some ideas finally after a whole page of sketches. Now it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting ideas. So, we'll get there, man. But it's good to hear from you. Good to see you. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, man. Other than that, that's gonna be the end of this episode. I'm G Mr. Drew. It's at G Mr. Drew on all social media. You can follow, like, and subscribe. And links are in my bio. gmrdrew.art, my website. Eventually, all these things will end up on there. And I can't wait to finally get a. I don't even know if I'll finalize a like a plane or something like that of my design, but if I do, these will definitely all end up on my website. So yeah, check that out. You can see anything and everything that I've ever worked on, including the sketchbooks and the Throwback Thursday stuff that I put up. All those sketchbooks are on there, so you can check those out as well and see how embarrassing all my old work is, and where I was and where I'm at today. And yeah, other than that, man, I want to thank everyone for watching the Andrew Glowczewski Experience, episode 212. These ones are just zooming by, just like these fighter jets, man. I love y'all. Peace.